Leidos in Washington. They're gonna bury here to go on to face who?
Week 6 action here on twitch.tv/capitals, and we are in for another amazing round of 6v6 NHL 22 esports action live here with the Caps Gaming Showcase presented to you by Leidos and powered by Leaguegaming. Good evening, good afternoon if you're stateside, and welcome to Week 6 of our broadcast. My name is Nick DeMeo, aka F5 Penguin, and I'm brought alongside none other than Tegan Blair. It's King Lime. Tegan, I know you're, I would say, how are you? We know the answer to that, but you're here, you're ready to go, and I think these two teams are ready to go as well in RCTIC versus Granit.
You know, let's leave how I'm feeling out of this and dive into this great action that we're going to get here. In RCTIC against Granit Gaming, there is nothing better on the EU side that we could have been dealt this afternoon. Very even teams, both very close. It's going to be a great battle tonight here, Nick.
It really will be, especially we've covered Granit Gaming before. We know a little bit about what they're about. 2 3-2 teams here that are split evenly down the paper, at least on the series side. But with RCTIC having played about one more game, Granit going to 3 overtime losses, this is an interesting one where the teams are trying to get their footing and kind of move up into a playoff picture. Obviously, now we know what the playoff picture looks like. These teams will all be in the playoffs in some way, shape, or form. But that seeding really does matter, as we know once it becomes playoff time, any Cinderella story can get hot at the right time and really make a run. So you don't want to fight those middle of the pack seeds. You kind of want to pick up those lower seeds and hopefully give yourself the best chance for success in the first round.
Yeah, it looks like you said, everybody making it here, but anybody can make it at any given time here, Nick. And what a better person to go over that with than Brandon with me here, bMaJuH. How are you doing tonight, Brandon?
Doing great today, Tegan, and a great game here that we're going to be able to see here between Granit and RCTIC, and obviously another great series tonight on the NA side. A lot of fun action. Very grateful to be a part of it here with you guys, and can't wait to get started.
Yeah, and it is going to be a great game. Both of these teams sitting at 3-2 in their respective series. But why don't you walk us through some of the goals for and goals against, and what stands out to you here, Brandon?
Yeah, for Granit, obviously, that big 42 goals for it, only the 19 against. I know you can look at that 3-2 record for them and kind of say, man, you know, they're in that middle of the pack range, but do not get it twisted. Granit is a team that has been playing of a high quality really all season, and interestingly enough, they are 7-1-3 so far in terms of all of their games played. Every single goal, including that one regulation loss, all by just one goal. So Granit has been in every game till the very end. They could easily be looking at a 4-1 or even a 5-0 record right now if a few things go differently. RCTIC gonna have their hands full, but they have a good side over there. Just gonna have to make sure they keep Granit at bay and don't allow them to play that high possession game that they love to go on.
Yeah, we saw a lot of special teams there, Brandon, as we got a taste of it there. Do you think that's gonna weigh in the battle tonight?
Oh, most definitely. Granit has been really good, specifically on the power play and penalty kills with that special team. They are second in both marks. They have a 53.8% power play and an 88.9% PK. Luckily for RCTIC, they are in the top 10 in both of those marks as well. So you're going to try to stay away from the box if you're RCTIC, because if you play with fire too much here, it's going to be troublesome. Luckily for them, they are in the top 10 in penalty minutes with just 32. Not too shabby. Obviously, you don't want to be in those 30s if you don't have to be, but luckily enough, not a team that's gotten themselves in too much trouble so far when it comes to staying in the sin bin. Gonna want to make sure to continue that, a team like Granit, because of the talent that they have, especially with that forward group of Ekin, Fopatofla, and Antonio. They will make you pay and make you pay often.
Yeah, they definitely will. And one thing that both of these teams have in common, which they are not going to want to reflect tonight, is that they both got to meet up with YMCA Esports, and it wasn't the greatest, was it?
Yeah, they do have a common opponent in YMCA Esports, like you said, and they both lost those series 2-1. And interestingly enough, we actually got to cover Granit's series against YMCA in week 3, and it went to all 3 games, and really in those games, Granite played well enough to win in a few of those, but just were not able to kind of stay away from those runs that YMCA got, and just were not able to kind of kill off the momentum that they got generated for themselves. Arctic, a pretty close series with YMCA as well, and obviously both of them kind of looking to right the ship on what's been a tough 2 or 3 weeks for them. Granite losing last week to Ferlunda 2-0, both games going to overtime, while Arctic kind of on their way to kind of steering the ship as they got over 500 against WannaCry last week, winning that series 2-0. So both have kind of tailed off a little bit in weeks 4 and 5, but hoping to kind of get things back on track and really get that momentum going as playoffs are fast approaching.
And these two teams are very, very close. And one player that might have a say in this is Granit Gaming's goaltender. Unbelievable stats from him. Suprex has the 4th best save percentage of all goalies. He's had 5 games played in the tournament. He's sitting with 2 shutouts. Do you think he's going to have a help here for Granite?
Definitely, and I think Suprex is a guy that has not really been mentioned the way that he should be. Obviously, we know of a lot of the elite goalies in EU, the guys like FaZe and Kape and Hanselinho and players of that nature, and obviously they deserve to be in that elite category of goalies. But Suprex has had numbers that has been up there even higher than some of those guys. He has that .831 save percentage as well as a 1.57 goals against average. That's one of the best marks in the league for goalies with 5 games played or more. So he's been a guy that really has been stout back there in net for Granite, and you combine that goal scoring talent that they have on front, you can see why that makes them such a big team, a hard team really to beat and get past, and why teams have had a lot of close games with them so far.
Yeah, and I think touching on the YMCA, of course, but Granite has yet to lose a game by 1 goal. All their losses have been against YMCA Esports and Ferlunda, both of those teams by 1 goal. Pretty good teams to have behind you there if you're only picking up losing by 1.
Yeah, and that's something that we kind of touched on a little bit earlier. Like with Ferlunda last week, they lost both games in overtime, so they could very easily, with a bounce here or a bounce there, be 4-1. So granted, a team that I really don't think anyone is necessarily excited to be playing against in terms of who you have on the schedule, because not only do they have a lot of talent, but they've really been putting that together. Granite's one of those teams that they've been around for a little bit, they've gotten some wins, and they have a lot of talent on that team, and many people in the EU scene know that. It's just a matter of, can they put it together to get that one special run to beat those elite teams like H-Reds and Ferlunda and Havu. They've been on a roll this season. They obviously shown that they can play against that talent well. It's just a matter of they can string together those wins at the right time. I think Granite is a sleeper team coming into the playoffs. As we start to get closer to that area, Arctic gonna have their hands full tonight, but they have the talent to beat them. We'll see if they can do it.
Yeah, and if you look at the other side, we spoke a lot about Granite. If you look over at Arctic, we also have a Limbe, who is 16th in points here in the tournament.
Yeah, Limbe's a guy that's been a little bit underrated as well. He has 14 goals for this team, which is actually tied for the most out of any player that will be playing tonight with Ekin. So, and he has 11 assists as well to add on to it. So Limbe, a guy at that left wing that Lemanans and Antonio are gonna have their hands full at the right wing and right D spot. This is a guy that can score the puck and score it at will. And interestingly enough, aside from having those 14 goals, he hasn't even taken the most shots. He's actually taken the least amount of shots out of all 3 of the Arctic forwards. So he's a guy that can, when he has the puck on his stick, he's always a threat to score. He has about a 40% shooting percentage, give or take. So he's a guy that's going to be a threat with the puck on his stick, and Granite going to have to shut him down. Otherwise, Arctic, they could get themselves maybe what some would see as an upset here. But to be honest with you, Arctic, a good enough team with their on, they could really beat just about anybody.
Yeah, and especially when you have a player like Limbe in the lineup, going up against a goalie like Suprex. We talked about him previously in the cast where he has been absolutely phenomenal. You're going to need a guy like Limbe who's going to put the puck in the net often and not take a lot of shots to do it when you're playing against a goaltender like Suprex.
Yeah, and Priest is one of those guys that when you give him that look, he's able to kind of make that save that some goalies aren't able to make. And we talk about it all the time, Tegan. Goalies that can make those saves that they're supposed to, that's nice. But when you can get a goalie that can make that big save and maybe bail their team out a little bit, especially against a high-quality scoring talent like we have tonight in Limbe, that is such an added element to that team. And it really gives you that extra level of momentum to kind of build off of, because you never know, that big save could lead to that big goal that end up winning your team the game. So it's going to be fun to watch that matchup between Limbe and Suprix if he's given the opportunities.
And that is something we do see all the time, isn't it, Brandon? Is we do get a look at the goaltender making a massive save at one end with a huge goal at the other end. And this does happen often in esports because there isn't a lot of chances, is there?
Yeah, the chances it's a big thing with esports, because with the teams that are higher skilled and high talents, it's all about taking advantage of your opportunities, because there's just not a lot of time and a lot of space to really get a high volume of those opportunities. So when you get your chances, it is of the highest of essence to take advantage of them and make sure that you capitalize. It's hard to do that with a goalie like Suprix and net, and it's going to be a key for Arctic if they want to win this series. If you get those looks, you have to make sure that you make the right play and capitalize it, whether it be trying to get that pass over to your other winger or just trying to put the shot on net and hoping for a tip or a rebound. Giving yourself that high quality opportunity and being able to actually capitalize on it is of extreme importance of games like this when you have teams of this skill level, not just for Arctic, but for Granite too, because Granite is both 3-2 with Arctic. So a game that could kind of sway which way these two teams go in the standings, which, as Nick mentioned earlier in the intro, pivotal for the standings and the seeding.
It definitely is. And the special teams we touched on, Granit Gaming, a very, very good team. You see it there on the left-hand side of your screen, but we also have to take into consideration, you have a player like Fapatofla who has 14 penalty minutes, as well as the defenseman, I believe, that is Furion. So both of those players, 28 penalty minutes between the two of them, they are going to need to stay out of the box.
Yeah, that's going to be absolutely huge. And interestingly enough, that is on that left side, especially really for Granite, with Furion being the left D, and then even in the middle, actually, with Fapatofla at center. So it's going to be interesting to see if Arctic kind of tries to draw some of those penalties. You know how good these teams are at using that L2 movement to kind of manipulate their body and their sticks to draw those penalties. It'd be interesting to see if Arctic kind of sees how often that side's really been taking that, especially down the middle, and see if they try to take advantage of that to give themselves some power play opportunities. They're good on that power play this season. We'll see if they'll try to open those opportunities for themselves by trying to draw a few.
Yeah, and maybe Arctic can capitalize, as they have been very, very good on the power play. Brandon, anybody from either side that you think is going to be the player of the game for both teams?
For Granite, somebody that we have not really talked about that's really been one of the better players throughout the tournament is Ekin. 14 goals, 16 assists. He's top 10 in the league in both points and goals. So he's going to be a guy that Arctic is really going to have to key in on shutting down in order to give themselves a good chance in this series. We know how well Granite can score. Ekin, a huge part of that for this Granite side. And I think for the other side of Arctic, we kind of talked about him, but Limbe, he is that goal scorer for them. I think that if he can get involved and get hot early, Arctic has a chance to maybe pull this victory off and go to 4-2. We'll see what Grant have to say about it. 2 stars on the left wings for both of these sides. Gonna be fun to see who wins this one. Can't wait to hear you guys call it, Nick and Tegan.
Thank you very much, gentlemen, as always, for the amazing analysis at the beginning of these broadcasts. We appreciate it as the teams are syncing up. Nick DeMeo, F5 Penguin, Tegan Blair, it's King Lime, and Brandon Bigsby, aka bMaJuH, here on the call for the Caps Gaming Showcase, presented to you by Leidos, powered by Leaguegaming, as the teams sync up here, and we'll get things underway. To start the game, Arctic going north on your screen in these black jerseys, white letters, blue trim. Granit Gaming in those white and gold going south on your screen, and we begin here for the first game of the first series for today. We have 2 on the docket. And this is game number 1. Best of 3 in week number 6, as that play will finally be moved out of the zone. Nice lead pass there up for Limbe. Limbe looking for a shot on, can't get it off. Ekin will backtrack that onto Furion, and out of the zone he comes. So a feeling out process early on, but RCTIC already knocking on the door, looking for a lane in. Furion back down low, looking to center. That one he will to Lemanins. But a counter-attack here, 2-on-1, but broken up by the same player. Good feed through center. Cross-ice pass. Shot wrapped around the boards, looking to get that one is Furion. He'll grab it. Shot in from the point, blocked there. Picked up by RCTIC, who will move that out through Azastine. Now up through the wingers. They could not connect on that one, and Lemanins will take it back around. Furion once more. Now Ekin bumped off the puck, and Iryu will send that up the right boards. Right boards in through. Another lead pass chance there for Limbe. Good defense by Granit Gaming for now.
Been a pretty good start here for RCTIC. If they've been able to hold Granit Gaming to the outside, I was expecting Granit to kind of put things on, but we have a 2-on-1, Nick.
2-on-1 chance there, and Supreeks slams the door shut. That was a dangerous play there off the counterattack in the neutral zone there, Tegan.
Yeah, dangerous play, Nick, but I think you got to take better shots than that on Supreeks. He's shown he's a veteran player here, and you're going to need to put better shots on him if you want to win.
Face off there, one back shot there, saved by Supreeks, and it goes out of play. That set play there, back to the right point in layout, fed that up to Naiku, and that shot just got whistled out of play.
Got to start to a face-off for RCTIC is many face-off plays we've seen in the offensive zone. This one doesn't start out as it's a good win for Granit Gaming.
Won it on the left side, couldn't win it on the right side. Poke checks will meet sticks there, and Azastine will start it out for RCTIC once more as the pressure right now is on Granit to rebound here, but they're playing a full trap style, which is their play style. RCTIC looking to put the pedal down here and really try to get that past them, and they do here. Iryu with a shot. Good save by Supreeks. And that was a great wrister, but Supreeks able to read it the entire way.
Those are the chances I was talking about, Nick. You got to capitalize. They get a nice little breakaway on Supreeks, and he makes a fantastic save.
NASCAR style going 3 wide through the blue paint there. And that one comes in, shot blocked in front. Azastine couldn't get the shot to the net. That one's chopped in behind Supreeks, and out comes with it is Furion. Steal here, though, up against the right corner. Fighting it out, and that one's going to just ricochet and rubber band the other way, and it'll be a weird icing call with 6:43 left in the first.
Yeah, maybe just a little bit of a slow down play there is RCTIC really pouring it on. We'll see if they get a good face-off play here at the right of Supreeks.
Face-off push win here. Shot in off the iron behind Supreeks, and oh, man. He'll hang on here, but that was... wow, he had a lane in, but I don't know how that shot didn't get to the back of the net.
Not a normal face-off play we see, is it, Nick? But a gorgeous toe drag opens up the lane to the net. Great save by Supreeks.
Toe drag got in close. He beat the goalie, didn't beat the post. That shot kept in, though. That was a good pass. Spin around chance denied there. Naiku from the corner. Out Iryu. Wrist shot short side. Tipped in front. Supreeks still loose in front. And Fapa Tafla will finally alleviate the pressure for Granit. Ekin accosted there at the blue line, and it comes back out to center. They'll try once more. Furion through center point. Ekin lays it back up top, now back down low. The give and go from the half-board area. Ekin pummeled against the boards. That was going to be wrapped around. Who's going to get it? That's going to be Furion again. He's all over the place right now as that's flipped out of the harm's way for RCTIC, but it's going to be icing.
That one's going to be pulled all the way back down. And what do you think, Nick? Granit Gaming hasn't really got to get anything going. We'll see if we can get the Ekin moving the puck back on the left-hand side. They've been very successful. Big face-off here.
3 scoring opportunities so far for RCTIC. I don't have any so far for Granit, but that shot comes in and is gingerly towed away by Yusin Cisco. And I'll wait for that reference come later. Anyway, play out to center. As they try to move it through. They'll flip it. Good pickup there. In for Granit. Lemanins gonna lay that back down. Fapa in front. Chance. Oh, and that was a good effort there. But Iryu able to get in front of that. RCTIC coming back the other way. Final 10 seconds here. That one's along the boards. Fighting out of it. Naiku looking to get the shot on. He's not gonna. Ekin instead will keep that away. So into the locker room at the end of one. Both of these 3-2 teams are scoreless, but not without a great work by Supreeks to keep this thing 0-0.
Yeah, Supreeks has been lights out here. He's obviously been the best player for Granit Gaming. What do you think, Brando?
Yeah, and we spent a lot of time talking about Supreeks, how key he would have to be here for Granit in order to give themselves a 4-2 record and a series win here. Well, he's been tested early, he's been tested often, and he has understood the assignment through the first 20 minutes of play. You can see right there on your screen, ladies and gentlemen, 5 shots to 1 in favor of Arctic. That one shot really coming within the last 5 minutes or so there for Granit, and Granit being a team that really thrives on possession time and being able to move the puck around and just kind of willing their opponents down and opening things up as time goes on and as they move the puck. It's been a great job from Arctic to really just be able to hold the possession, keep the puck offensively in that zone, and just keeping Granit away from getting those opportunities for themselves. We'll see if they can sustain that, but a nice start here for Arctic so far.
Period number 2 underway here. As we didn't get many shots, not a lot of action in the first period, but Arctic all gas, no brakes now as they go 3-on-1 into the zone. Backhand chance. Supreeks looking for it. Fop was going to pick it up from behind the net. And Arctic's just pummeling right now. Granite's going to have to slow this thing down.
Yeah, you see him moving the puck around there, Nick, and they drop it back down. You're exactly right. They do need to slow this down, as it's really been all Arctic.
Trying to clear that one through the slot area. You can't do that. Arctic almost made them pay as their forecheck is relentless right now. As Limbe was looking to pick that one off, the defense in Furion still fighting for it, trying to get it out of the zone. Ekin, he's finally going to be able to do that as that pass does not find its intended target, though. No icing as Azastine looks to bring that out of the zone. He will. And trying to pick that up going offside, though, as that's Naiku just all over these defenders for Granite right now.
Yeah, I don't know if this was Arctic's game plan, if they just came out and wanted to just full force, but if that's what the plan was, they've kept their foot and pedal to the metal.
Absolutely. Naiku back in the zone now, spinning around, trying to bring that puck along with him through the corner. Couldn't do so there, as they're testing early and often right now. Play moves through into the offensive zone for Granite, but not for long here as Layout went back there to try to pick that up. Oh, kept in nicely. Foppa's got it. Poke checked by Iryu. Ekin. Now left side. Mamanitz. Back down low. Looking at, oh, and he just corralled that one in. I don't know how Azastine did that, but good move by him as Layout tried to flip that one up to his forwards, but couldn't do so. Neutral zone play here. That's left back, but picked off by Limbe. Granite looking to do one too many passes here as they come into the zone. They'll try once more. Down the right side. Leveled there. Good move by Layout. Layout up to Limbe. Limbe's got that one stolen from him. Behind the back pass finds nobody. Hits the board instead. Furion will scoop it up. Furion in front. Chance. Good effort. Trying to get to the puck to get a shot on. But 3 members of Arctic able to get in the lane. And that one comes all the way down the ice. Now fighting for it off the forecheck. Limbe, stick lift there. Now a penalty, and this one's going to be costly for Arctic, but a benefit for Granite as the extra attacker comes out. He's making the long skate in the second period change here as the delayed penalty's on. That's going to be finally touched here. And Tegan, this is a good chance for Granite to get back into this one.
Yeah, I think this is what they've been waiting for. A little bit of a mistake by Naiku in the offensive zone. He takes a trip there on Furion, and he goes down a little bit easy, but this is exactly what the Granite needs if they want to turn the momentum in this hockey game.
Power play for Granit Gaming right now. 5 for 15. So we'll see how they convert this here. Scratch that, sorry, 7 for 13. As we'll see how they can convert as they're 56% coming into tonight. Penalty kill for Arctic, 81%. So they're looking pretty strong right now. Through 15 chances, only letting in 5. In behind the net. Go back up top, center point. Furion looking for a lane, can't find it. Low angle shot, oh, and took the pass instead. And that shot got blocked. Ekin once more right in the middle from the slot area. Now Furion with a clapper there off the defenseman. Second effort, he scores! That's gonna be Foppa, and that's a power play goal for Granite, and they needed one right now. It's 1-0.
What a pass there by Ekin as he connects it for the second time, Nick. You saw the first one. I was actually surprised. It looked like he had a wide open cage. He threw the puck across anyways. The second time, the goalie stayed with him. He threads the needle across, and that's a great goal for Fapatoffa, and that's exactly what they needed to get themselves moving.
Trying to get Zayuke moving, and I think they did so there, at least on that shot. As now they're back into this with a shot there, and a second goal coming just in mere seconds after the first one, and Ekin gets his marker, and it's 2-0 for Granit.
That's a fantastic job by Granit. It was all Arctic to start this game. They get a little bit of momentum on the power play, Nick, and then what a play out front for that one-timer. Ekin is not going to miss that from the high slot. It's a 2-0 game.
They're going down low and then feeding it back into the slot area, and it's working right now at least 2 times in a row. And now Granit being down pretty much the entire game on the stat line and on the time on attack and shots. Way ahead now with a 2-goal lead in the second period. Closing stage is upon us. They've got it again, but another power play here as Naiku again with the trip. He's back in the box for 2 more minutes.
Yeah, and you think after taking that first one, you'd be thinking before you press that button, but just a careless penalty on the right-hand side there. And, well, Granit Gaming able to extend their lead if possible.
I thought that was Nike who scratched at the centerman, Iryu, in the box for 2. So Nike will take the face-off. Toe drag off the face-off, and Ekin, oh my goodness. A power play goal, and a dirty one at that. It's 3-0.
Well, you know, my jaw was dropped when I watched Arctic do the toe drag at the other end, but what a move by Ekin as he goes between the legs. I don't think he would have got through if he didn't go between the legs. He takes that one back door, and what a fantastic effort by Ekin.
Ekin 16 and 16. 16 goals, 16 assists. The sweet 16 for Mr. Ekin. 45 as he's got his team with a 3-goal lead here. Ekin now tied for second in goals in the entire Caps Gaming Showcase EU division. Shot there off the cage of Zayuki, and he's been getting pummeled right now in the closing stages of the second period. Chance here for Naiku. Getting the defense in front there. That's Layout looking to get involved. They'll try to throw that one on net. That one's deflected behind the net instead. Banked off the boards. Final 10 seconds here. Fapa stops short entering the zone. Tries to lay that one off to his teammate. Can't. Center point now. Lemanins couldn't get the shot on. But at the end of this second period, it's now 3-0. And Granit Gaming has been all gas for the last 5 minutes in this contest.
Yeah, it's pretty phenomenal to think that after the first intermission, Brandon, we were talking about how amazing Arctic was, but what a showing and an effort by Ekin and Granit Gaming.
Yeah, Arctic really the better team in the first 30 minutes of this game, but then that first penalty that they took there, Granit able to get on the power play and score a goal, and it feels like after that they have been all gas, little to no breaks since that point. You can see 2 for 2 on the power play so far. That really being the big difference between these two sides. Granit just really taking advantage of that power play. They weren't able to get a lot of that zone time and that possession time to create opportunities for themselves on even strength. They get that power play. They start to get things going a little bit, and a lot of times these power plays, you see the puck kind of move around the offensive zone, and then you score one. It really gets things going for a team, and Granit taking that to this extent so far and looking to continue it in the third.
Third period looking very different right now for Arctic as they need to come back strong here with some really crazy heroics as Granit is firing on all cylinders right now. They got to get this thing out of the zone, does Arctic. Lost in front, though. One-time chance picked off by Limbe. Limbe around, and another weird rubber band there is another icing call, and the ice is a little bit slippery behind the net there, Tegan.
I'd like to call that the old trampoline puck, because it looks like somebody just took a slap shot off a trampoline. It's gone down the other way. We'll get an offensive zone faceoff, nonetheless, for Granit Gaming.
Never taken a slap shot off a trampoline. It must be a Canadian thing, but I'll give you that
Definitely
one.
Definitely is.
Limbe with speed through center, tried to get that one past the defense here. Naiku and Arctic doing what they did in the first and halfway through the second period is just going 3 wide through the neutral zone. It's working, but they can't get past the defense.
Yeah, but at this point in a 3-0 hockey game, Nick, it's so successful. Why do you change it up? You know, they just got to slow this down. They got 16 miles before they got 6 miles.
16 miles, 6 miles. I know there's an 8-mile reference in there somewhere. Nevertheless, here we are. Face-off is back underway is the play. And Ekin giving it back to his defense. And all Granite has to do at this point is just make sure they keep things clean in front of them. Keep the puck in the opposite end. Is that hip check attempt? Azastine got that one stolen by Ekin. Back to Ekin looking for the one touch. Shot there, short side angle from a dangerous slot on the ice, but a good save by Zayuki.
It's a fantastic save. Saves, but not for Houston Cisco, who we thought was going to be in the game. That's a great save there for Zuki.
Slap shot in. Thrown back out. Azastine. To get that out of the zone there was Limbe. He finally does, but another penalty, and this one might just be enough to just sink the ship, at least in game one, for Arctic as an interference call comes in. 13 minutes left in the third.
Yeah, a little bump. Pretty casual there, Nick, but nonetheless, he's going to sit for 2 as the player didn't have the puck. And you're right, Granit Gaming, if they get another one here, I'm not sure. It might be the end.
2 for 2 with 2 shots is Granit Gaming. They are perfect right now on special teams. Shot there. That was Naiku falling down, flipped out by the right defender in layout. Antonio sending that over for Fapa. Layman's looking to bring that one in. Can't do it. Arctic dangerous there as they finally clear it again, as that one's just been flipped and shoved along the boards and away from the goalkeeper in Zayuki as they're running out of time here with under 12 to go. 30 seconds left in this power play. Ekin brings it through. It's brought back out as final scores come in, thanks in part, and in full part rather, due to Leaguegaming's dynamic stat system. You'll see that on the top right of your screen as the games come in, which will matter as we get closer to playoffs here. Delayed penalty up though. Arctic looking to touch this one again. In front, backhand chance and a save there as we saw the score come in. H-Reds falls to tunnel vision, and they are no longer undefeated in the EU division, Tegan.
Wow, and that is very surprising there from H-Reds to take a fall. Very, very good team there, known as a favorite. But we'll see what Granit Gaming can do in the power play once again.
Another power play here, 4 of them now.
Hit me with your best
Good
shot.
save there by Zayuki, who sprawled out to get a piece of that one. Play continues. Still 3-0. They flip that out off the back of Limbe, off the glass and out of the defensive end for Arctic once more. As that was the last undefeated team was H-Reds, as they're 5-1 now. No more undefeated teams. Talk more about undefeated teams in a little bit here. Laymanins spinning around, trying to dance that one in. Ekin. Back around right side, Antonio. Arctic will flip that out, but not all the way out. Ekin able to keep that in. Tip shot off the iron. That's going to do it for the power play. Still in the zone, though. Spinning in front. Oh, man, and they got him all over the place right now, Tegan, as that one's in the corner. And still not out. Ekin. Back up top. Down low. Given goes all the way. They're keeping this in the zone smartly.
What hockey here by Granit Gaming. The penalty trouble here for Arctic has been detrimental. We talked about that before the game with myself and Brandon. And it's just showed as the first period was all Arctic, second and third. Granit Gaming is just foot on the pedal, and they haven't stopped, have they, Nick?
They really haven't, as we haven't seen Arctic's power there, except they threw it on net, and it paid off. A trailing Limbe. It goes off a defender, but nevertheless, Arctic cuts this lead to just 2.
Well, I had my crystal ball out, Nick. We know it works well. And there's a great goal by Arctic as they come down with a rebound play. And that's what they need, the greasy goals. They got 4 minutes to get a couple more.
As we'll see what 4 minutes can do for Arctic. As that speed was dangerous, it did bounce off a defensive player, but nevertheless, it's in. 2-on-1 chance here for Granite. Diving in front, though, was Azastine. A game-saving play if they can get back into this. 2.5 minutes left here in regulation time. Granit Gaming looking to just get this one in. Another 2-on-1 chance here forming. Ekin getting tripped up, and it's in though off a defensive player for RCTIC, and Ekin gets his hat trick.
Well, they don't ask how, they ask how many, and when you're scoring gorgeous goals like the one between the legs on the power play, the game tends to give you ones like that. You got to be lucky to be good there, Nick, and there's a hat-trick goal from Eklund. And maybe not the nicest one he could have scored, as you said it. He was tripped up on the way to the net. The puck just kind of trickles through the goalie's 5-hole, and he's got himself a hat-trick, Nick.
Got the hat trick, and I guess, yeah, you're right on that. Sometimes the game will reward you, but you got to stay pushing towards the net. They did so there, as you can't go on your heels, especially not in NHL 22. So Ekin gets his hat trick. That gives him 17 goals on the season. He's a top 10 MVP contender for sure. Here's another chance here for Granit Gaming as we're under a minute here. Real time 60 seconds to conclude this regulation hockey game. Fed up now, Azastine. And RCTIC at this point just needs to get something going and establish themselves in the offensive zone for the next game, as this is a best of 3.
Yeah, I was going to say, Nick, at this point, you just got to kind of get some momentum built and maybe some confidence even as you see them still going offside. So doing a good job there in the defensive zone and not letting Granit Gaming in. Maybe build on that, give themselves a late goal here, and they can come back and get a win in game number 2.
Got to pick up something here, and while you may give up game 1 as they pull their goalie here. I don't know if the goalie's actually going to come out, though. Probably not. As we're under 10 seconds now. Here you. Just back turning away from the play. That gives it up to Ekin. Azastine in the zone. Slap shot saved by Supreeks. And that's going to do it. So a great showing by Ekin. Gets his team 3 goals. Another one comes in from a winger. And that is going to do it for game 1. Granit takes this game 4-1 after being down on the stats all the way through the second period. They take game 1 and look to get this thing closed out in game number 2.
Yeah, hopefully looking to pour it on a little bit like they did in the first period there, Brandon, where RCTIC was so successful. But period 2 and 3, Granit Gaming, I think RCTIC got themselves into a little bit of penalty trouble, and Granit Gaming just capitalized.
Yeah, Tegan, and it's something that we touched up on in our pregame, how critical it was going to be for RCTIC to stay out of the box and keep this thing either at even strength or to get the power play themselves. Unfortunately, the first 20 minutes looked good for them. They were controlling the play. It was 5-on-5. They weren't really letting Granit getting into that zone. They were able to establish that forecheck that they were doing so well with throughout the first 30 minutes of this game, and then the one penalty was all it took for Granit to wake up, get things going, and start to get some of that offensive possession that you know they thrive so much with. Then you get the goal from Fapatafla. Ekin gets 2 or 3 in a row, and it was Granit from that point on. Really, most of RCTIC's stats, they had 1.5 minutes of time on attack and 5 shots in the first period. You saw right there, 8 shots and 2:28 by the end of the game. So not even a full minute of time on attack and only 3 shots there through the last 40 minutes of play for RCTIC. So credit Granit for being able to get things going, waking up, coordinating a response, and also not letting RCTIC get ahead of them as well. Supreeks made some very timely saves to keep that game at bay. Well-earned result for Granit. Now we'll see if they can do it for game 2.
It's amazing. And that first period to second and third period, it looked like we had different teams playing. Brandon, why don't you touch on that?
Yeah, it really did there, and we kind of mentioned it a little bit, but RCTIC early in that game was the aggressor. They were getting the time on attack, they were controlling possession, and Granit were really not able to even break into the offensive zone. You saw that relentless forecheck from RCTIC, especially from Limbe and Naiku. They were just absolutely pressing in the faces of the breakout of Granit, and Granit really wasn't able to respond to that. But once they're able to get into the zone and get some things going, things just were able to open up. And we said how good Granit was at being able to find opportunities for themselves and being able to score the puck. Well, the best way to mitigate that is to keep them out of the zone. RCTIC able to do that in the first half of this game and not able to do it in the second. That was really kind of the turning point between these two sides. So it'll be interesting to see how RCTIC responds. If they can stay out of the box and keep it at a 5-on-5 game, I think we'll we'll see a lot more of an even game than we saw in that game one. I think the key is just trying to stay away from those miscues and those penalties that they have, because granted, as we see, able to take advantage of them with the number 2 power play in the tournament, could arguably be number 1 after that performance right there.
Yeah, we were worried about Granit Gaming taking a lot of penalties as they had 2 players with 14 minutes coming into tonight with Fapatofla and Furion, but that was not the case. It was Arctic that spent a lot of time in the box, and it was led by Naiku, who does have 14 pims. So we talked about maybe it being Granit Gaming, and it was the total opposite.
Yeah, which is pretty interesting because there was a 4-minute penalty difference between them. Granted with 36, Arctic with 32. So obviously not a major difference necessarily between either of them, but it was really Arctic, like you said, that took those penalties and took them at really inopportune times. They
Right.
had all the momentum, and they were really just a score away from really taking a full grasp of this game. Unfortunately for them, Supreme's able to make those timely saves, and then once they took that first penalty, Granit able to score, and it just felt like the floodgates kind of opened after that, and Granit was like, okay, we're back, and they started to feel themselves a little bit, and the scoring just kind of continue to open up from there. So it's going to be interesting to see how Arctic can respond here in that game too. I think if they stay out of the box, keep it at a 5-on-5, they stand a decent chance. They were pretty solid, I think, overall in the 5-on-5 play, just with the momentum that took from those power plays that they gave. Granted, just a little bit too much for them to overcome, unfortunately.
Yeah, and the goaltender that we were expecting to see, my man, with the saves to save, Cisco, we ended up seeing Zuki, who was very, very good there for Arctic. I don't think any of the goals that went past him were necessarily his fault, Brandon.
Yeah, not really a lot you can do about that, especially when you see some of the plays that Ekin made in that game. When you're a goalie, there's only so many things that you're able to control, and unfortunately, between some of the power play opportunities and some of the good looks that Granit earned themselves in that game, just not a lot you can really do there if you're Zuki. And Zuki is underratedly been one of the better goalies himself. This was his 5th game. He had played 4 before today, and he had a .833 save percentage and had gone 4-0 in his contest. So that was his first loss of the season right there. So him and Supreme's pretty even numbers-wise, with Supreme's just playing more games than Zuki has. But I think that if you are Arctic, you have a few things that you can look towards positively. I think the big thing is, how can you get opportunities going for yourself offensively? Didn't really feel like they had a lot of opportunities going for themselves after the first 20 to 30 minutes in that game. So we'll see how things change. We'll see how these two teams adapt and adjust. We know how big that is in esports, because you cannot get the job done by winning 1 game. No, my friends. You gotta win 2. So gonna be interesting to see how Arctic adjusts and how Granit looks to continue that momentum that they built up there in those last 2 periods of that game.
Yeah, and if Arctic can do anything, it's just to try and play the second and third like you played the first. There was no goals scored, but it was very, very successful. Another thing that I think is important for them is that they put the puck on Supreme's more often and try and shoot for those rebounds. It was the only goal they ended up getting. Brandon was off the pad with a player chasing to the net. It was a very nice goal. It is the greasy goal, but those are the ones you need to get when you're not really building on momentum like the other team.
Yeah, you don't get points for a pretty goal. You just get points for the goal itself. So
Right.
nevertheless, it doesn't necessarily matter how you get it. You just have to get it at the end of the day. So I think for Arctic, they plenty know that. I think they'll go for a lot of those opportunities. Granit likes to play that trap style game, while you see Arctic kind of blitzing a little bit, going for that aggressive forecheck. Granted,
Right.
they like to sit back and control that neutral zone and not allow you to beat them and get past them and go over their heads. So they're going to kind of have to try to just break into the zone and hope that they can generate a few opportunities with a rebound or even a tip. We didn't see either team really attempt any tip plays there in that game one. So going to be interesting to see how Arctic adjusts and tries to score in some different ways, because I think you're going to have to give Supreme's different looks there. You did that game one. He was all over them, and after that first period, didn't really get a lot of opportunities really in general. So going to be fun to see how these two teams adjust to one another and adapt here for game 2.
Yeah, I think Arctic, what they really need to do is shut down Ekin. Ekin with a hat trick in that game. He is phenomenal. And the one that he did not score, he passed across for a wide open cage. So obviously a very good player there on Granit Gaming. If Arctic can shut him down, it could be successful, Brandon.
Yeah, and we already knew that Naiku and Layout were going to have their hands full on that right side for Arctic, holding down Ekin. Nick kind of gave us the tidbit earlier. He's now tied for second in the tournament in goals, actually with Nicky Dangles now after more stats have come in. So we know how good Ekin is. He's an underrated MVP candidate here for this tournament for Granite. They're going to have to slow him down and keep him at bay if they want a chance at this game. And you can't ignore the other forwards for Granite either. We know Antonio, we know Fapatafla. Those guys can score when given the opportunity. So we'll see what Arctic does to adjust. We'll see if Granite can continue their momentum. Nick, Tegan, can't wait for game 2. Should be a fun one.
Thanks, Brandon, as always, with the insight, the statistics, the best statistical analyst in all of NHL esports. I'll say it here and stake my entire career on it. As we get set off here, game number 2, Arctic versus Granit Gaming. As the teams sync up here, the jerseys may have changed, but it doesn't change the fact that Granite took game 1 by a scoreline of 4-1. Arctic, white jerseys, blue shoulders, black pants, going north on your screen. And Granite Gaming, gold jerseys, black pants, going south on your screen. As play begins here, game number 2. Furion dancing around, trying to get that in. Now it's down low. Azastine trying to clear out the zone. Puck comes all the way back out to center. D to D between Furion and his partner in Leimanins. Ekin trying to sidestep a defender. Can't get past Azastine. That one's going to ricochet off a player on the clear attempt all the way down the ice. And scooped up by Granite once more as Ekin. Great talk about this here, Tegan. Ekin coming back down to help out his defenseman on those breakout attempts. Underrated here, which I'm sure we'll talk about here in a second as that one flutters up into the air. Ekin now down low again with his teammate there. Iryu looking to clear, and he finally does. Iryu, toe drag to create some space, but not for long as Antonio's all over that one. The defense out of position. Azastine, good steal there, though. As that one goes back up to Naiku. Back around the boards. Azastine. He's going to lose it. Ekin, good steal. Still in the zone now for Granite. Leimanins stepping in, but just a little bit too late there. Still in the zone, though. Center point. Shot in from the high slot area. That one got blocked, and Iryu takes it out. Limbe flipping it along the boards. Now from the corner, he scoops it up. Spinning around once, trying to fire that one in front to a waiting Iryu, but many players from Granite in the way as that one did not make it on the net. Stolen now. Limbe dropped it off Azastine. That's a dangerous move. 2-on-1 chance here. Ekin. Ekin feeding one. In front. Ekin back there. Couldn't get the shot off. Accosted the entire way as he got leveled from the corner. Center point. Slap shot. That one's poke check free. Limbe all over it. Antonio now down low. From the corner. Feeding one in. Slot area. Shot in. Good block there by Layout. Poke check that one free. Iryu now as Arctic starting to look pretty good. Wrist shot. Good save there by Suprix. Antonio now as we're not stopping through this game so far. Ekin in front. Chance there. Dangerous by Zayuki to make that save, but he did so. Stolen now. Ekin. Ekin leveled, and I don't know about that call, but nevertheless a penalty here, and that just deflates the momentum that Arctic had going for him.
This has been a very, very exciting game. It's like both teams are fighting for the momentum here, Nick, as they both want it. There's a trip there by the right winger Arctic. That is Naiku again, who is known to sit in the box. We'll see if it costs him here.
Speak to a lot of players, and they all say the first goal in NHL 22 matters the absolute most. So you might be right in that, as that one's flipped up nicely to Limbe. Iryu shot there, goes wide. Just whistled past the goalie in Suprix. This play moves on now. The power play. 1 minute left for Granite. They've looked great so far. 2 for 4 on the power plays tonight. Game number 2 now. This is their first one. As Arctic's played well so far on the PK. Leimanins to Ekin. Try to slip that one past the defender. He can't. That one's going to be up and off the glass, rather, as penalty time will wind down. We'll be back to 6v6, 5v5 hockey, depending on who you ask. If you ask Drew Goldfarb, he'll say it's 5v5, 6v6. He says both. It's weird. Anyway, play continues. Suprix kicks that along his right side. Now back up the right side of your screen and down. In for Ekin offside. And I want to go back to what we talked about, Tegan, in Ekin's ability to come back and help out his defense on these breakouts.
I was just going to bring that up, Nick. You know, two great minds think alike. And that's what we were saying with Brandon. We did talk about his offense being so successful. But if you watch him all over the ice, he comes back in the defensive zone. You see him getting in front of pucks for his goaltender. He's a fantastic player, not only in the offensive zone, but the defensive zone as well here for Granit Gaming.
Granit still on the offense here. Good shot there, short side. And that one saves. Zayuki staying with it the entire way.
What a save by Zayuki. It looked like he almost put himself out of position with that glove save. He was able to flash the leather and get a hand on it.
Face off to his left now. One back cleanly, Iryu. And out of the zone at least, but it couldn't connect to his winger in Limbe. As YMCA falls here, 3-0 to Totorit. That's a dangerous one there, as YMCA was looking to pick up their 4th win in the series here, as we're into week 6 now. Lemanins up top, back to him, slap shot in, tipped in front. That one clicked on net, but it couldn't get past the goalie. Lemanins again, half-board area, shot in for Fappa, as he rang one on net. Fighting from the corner, final 10 seconds here. Furion, one last chance, bounce, oh my goodness, as that one, I don't know if it was intentional or not, but it tried to bounce off the skates behind the goalie in Zayuki. It didn't happen, and it's still scoreless after a ton of action in the first period, but no goals on the scoreline.
It was very aggressive first period by both teams. We'll see what we get in period number 2, but I'd say period number 1 goes to Granit Gaming, Brandon.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with you there, Tegan. And a few scary moments there for RCTIC there the last minute and a half there. Really could have been 1-0 if a bounce or two goes differently. But overall, I think you have to credit Zayuki in that first period. A few really dangerous opportunities that Granit got for themselves, and Zayuki was really all over it. We know how good this guy is as a goalie. We spent a lot of time talking about Supreeks coming into this game. We didn't notice Zayuki was going to be playing, but Zayuki, a very high quality goalie that can steal a team games when he is on and popping. So a great first period for him. We'll see if RCTIC can match up that level of play and maybe get the first one here. It would be big for him to get this first goal.
Scoreless after 1, period number 2 here of game 2. Granit Gaming taking the first one, and this best of 3 as a wrist shot comes in, and Supreeks, he flashes the leather on the other side of the ice.
Yeah, we might get a little bit of a goaltending battle here, Nick, is we were looking at Ekin and maybe the right wing battle, but it's looking like it is going to be a goaltender battle.
At least for now, as Ekin looked to pass that one through the neutral zone. Limbe picked that off nicely. Good pass back up to layout, but that's a turnaround play here. Ekin on the breakaway, trying to get a shot on, can't get there, but the backhand and the help from the rest of the team gives Granit Gaming the first goal of this game, and it's 1-0.
Nick, I'm curious if that was a pass or a broken play. Here comes Ekin down the ice. He's got the puck on a string. He does pass that back, and it goes across. Wow. What a 200 IQ play by Ekin. You're not going to see anything better than that. What a great, great pass.
I think we talk about all these great goalies, and then Supreeks is in that conversation slowly but surely. One of the names that goes overlooked too often in EU esports is Ekin, and he is a star amongst men who play unreal for him and his squad, and they all come together yet again. The 200 IQ play, to your point, but the ability to look back there, pass that out, and then for that player to not put the shot on net, but to then to pass that across the crease, just absolutely brilliant, Tegan.
Yeah, that is phenomenal. Just a drop pass, but here we go again.
Chance here. Granit, another delayed penalty. RCTIC will touch that up and take the penalty as Granit goes back on the power play, and man, RCTIC just can't catch a break right now.
Yeah, they definitely can't, and they have to stay out of the box, Nick. This is detrimental to their game, and it's really, really starting to cost them. You're seeing Granit Gaming able to move the puck around like that. It's just tough.
As the power play here, ranked 2nd out of all the teams in the EU division, is Granit. Toe drag trying to do that again, but unfortunately didn't work this time. as the power play opportunity is afoot here for Granite. It's Lemanins over to Furion, right side. Iryu picks that off coming into the zone. Slap shot in front. Couldn't get the shot off on the one-time chance. He was waiting in the slot area, was Fappa. Good defense by RCTIC. Fappa again and a good shot. This time, Zayuki again with a great save.
That is an amazing save by Zayuki, and the pass was open across in front of the net, and he did not cheat as they usually make that pass. The shot was taken, the save was made.
20 seconds left on this. Man advantage here for Granite Gaming in period number 2. Best of 3 here, trying to feed that one to one of the wingers was Antonio. Fappa now up top. Furion down low. Ekin. Ekin getting just pummeled by the defense here as somehow Granite Gaming came out with that scrum with the puck. We're back to full strength here. Great move there as Iryu for RCTIC trying to get his team back in the game. They got to establish some zone time here. Their forecheck looking good again as they steal it from Naiku. Azastide coming in late. Kick save there by Suprix. Limbe from the corner. Iryu back in down low. He'll flip it, try to recover it. He will. Nice steal there. Good in down low. Limbe, no shot. As finally Granite's got a hold of it. So they'll slow it down and clear it along the boards. Ekin will come across the middle. Out to Furion, back to Ekin. Ekin, good deke there. Antonio's got it now. Left in down low. Behind the net working. Closing in on it. RCTIC, Limbe trying to bump him off the puck. Good passing here by Granite. Granite with a shot off the iron and behind the back of Zayuki with the save as he lays down on it.
What a shot. That puck had eyes as it ended up going off the bar, popped right behind the goaltender Zayuki. He must have felt it hit him in the back. He dove down on it. But if Granite Gaming keeps this up, which it looks like they're not, is they're going to have to kill one off first.
As maybe that was a canceled pass or a saucer or a trip there. Okay, a trip rather puts Antonio in the box here, the right winger for Granite Gaming. So RCTIC going on the power play for the first time tonight. Face-off comes to the left of Suprix. Power play 33% here for RCTIC. They've got to get one here to tie this game back up at 1. Azastine laying it out right side. Good shot in from layout. As I said, laying it out cleverly, unintentionally. Here we go. Limbe with a shot short side. As RCTIC's just firing shots on all sides of the ice right now. Turnaround chance in front. Iryu trying to leave that one in, and Suprix will slow it down.
Wow, it visually looks like a Panthers-Steelers game out there, but regardless of that, this is just great puck movement by RCTIC. This is the momentum they needed to build this up.
Lots of time left on this power play. It's been all in their zone so far for Granite and their defensive end. The shot in off the rebound chance, and Iryu can't put it home.
That's a super, super smart shot to take on Suprix. We talked about that in the intermission, that taking those dirty goal chances and those greasy chances are what you need to beat Suprix. That's a smart play. They have 51 left on the power play.
Still got just under a minute left here on this man advantage. Like you said, that one's going to be flipped out, but not all the way out as it bounced off of Naiku. Layout now. Back D to D. Back out Naiku. Azastine. Low side. Shot. Score! What a beautiful power play goal there by Limbe. And this game is tied.
And that's what they needed. RCTIC needed to build on the momentum that they got from that penalty and make this look less like the last game. Great play as they find the open man backdoor. He's got the close quarters X factor, which is very, very successful for a lot of these players this year. If you choose the right X factor at the right time, it works, and that one does.
Talked about it before, X factors being pivotal in this game this year. Limbe with his 15th goal in the season. We talk about Ekin having 16, 17 goals. Limbe biting on his heels there, not too far off from that, and he proves it right there as he was in a Stamkos-esque angle as RCTIC trying to go race this one down. They will. Naiku from behind the net, stolen by Lemanins. Lemanins looking to get this one out of the zone. He can't, stolen by Limbe. Limbe a rock there at the circle there as Iryu tried to tuck that one home off the broken play there behind all the players that were falling down, but Granted, able to get that one out of the zone. Ekin now Furion. Furion spinning once. A lot of room there. Shot blocked. As RCTIC fully collapsing in front of these shot lanes. Fighting from it. Right side. Granite's got it. Back down low. Stolen there, Azastine. Sloppy pass there from Granit. Ekin looking to recover that one. He will, at least for right now, as Naiku's back down low to help out his team. And RCTIC clearing the zone once more. Renewed life for RCTIC right now. 1 minute left in the second period.
I'd say, Nick, I was just going to agree with you. It's like a whole new hockey team. It's like we're getting exactly what we got last game, but reverse.
Final 5 seconds here. Wrapped around Lemanens looking for Fury, and he wasn't there. He backed out, and that might have been a great chance there, but wow, a different game right now going on as great saves happening from the goalie Zayuki for RCTIC, and this game's tied at 1 after a great power play goal from Limbe.
We're getting a little bit of a goalie battle here, Brandon, but how about RCTIC coming back with this momentum? You got to be impressed to see this.
Yeah, you know, it would have been so easy to get down there if you're RCTIC. The way that first game went, having all the momentum on your side, having so much going for them in the first 20 to 30 minutes in that game, and all of a sudden, Granit just wakes up and takes it away in the flip of a switch. Now in this game, a little bit of deja vu, but like you said, Lime, in the reverse, the same characters playing different roles. It seems like Granit has everything going from the first half of this game, all the momentum, all of the time on attack, all of the opportunities, and then what did we say would be critical in this game earlier, Tegan? Special teams. That power play changed this game for RCTIC. They were able to get things going, they capitalized on the power play goal, and now they have the momentum on their side. A big third period for both of these two teams.
Third period underway here. You think the next goal might really win this here, Tegan, as they go offside here? I think that's really going to be the case. A 2-1 game here. Who you got stepping up big?
Yeah, it's basically next goal wins. I'm going to say for RCTIC, it's going to be Limbe who scores. And I think for Granit Gaming, it's going to be Ekin who finishes off.
Ekin and Limbe, top 2 scorers on the ice right now. Top 10, both of them in the EU division for this Caps Gaming Showcase. Presented to you by Leidos, powered by Leaguegaming. Wraparound chance and a dirty goal there. And who is it? It's Ekin, and it's 2-1.
Yeah, Ekin with a great pass over to Fapatofla, and he just wraps that around and puts it in the back of the net. But you're right, it is Ekin who starts this play from the corner, and what a 200 IQ play. You know Fapatofla's calling for that speed wrap. He gets the correct animation after receiving the puck, and it's a 2-1 game here for Granit Gaming.
Yeah, I said Ekin on the goal. I got so excited from the pass, and then, yeah, Fapatofla with the amazing goal there, the wraparound and the put in. And, man, that has to happen pretty quick here, Tegan, especially in NHL 22. The goalies can get over quickly, but it worked there. And, my goodness, this is an interesting hockey game now at the start of the third period.
Isn't it ever? As RCTIC needs something, then maybe a penalty, maybe a power play. They need something to build here, as that's what they've really relied on for momentum.
Granit Gaming looking to maintain this 2-1 lead now. As we've got a power play in a weird way, an interference call.
That's a really dirty hit. That's not necessary. That's wide open ice. The puck nowhere near the player. And that, I'm surprised that's 2.
Oh, you're looking for the 5 and the fine, huh, Tegan?
Yeah, you know, that elbow was high. You know, I don't know. I'm looking for it.
Granit 0 for 2 tonight on the power play. 1 shot on net. They're looking to get one here. That comes back up top. Ekin down low. Back out Furion. Furion, center point Lemanens. Quick passes. In front. Oh, my goodness. That was a chance. And it was denied there by Naiku playing defense.
Yeah, very good pass there. Another thing I've noticed about Granit Gaming is they do not umbrella on the power play like most of the European teams do, and it's very successful for them there. As you see, another great scoring chance off the stick of Ekin, but the pass was not complete.
Lemanens back to Ekin again. Driving the middle. Shot in there. And Furion trying to fight for that one from the corner. Out of the box here comes Azastine. And Granit just all pushing right now in front Antonio. Scooped up Ekin. Defense going to work here. Trying to get something going as Lemanens trying to get a shot on. A lot of passes here. And it's just a lot of patience by Granit right now.
That's exactly what I was just going to say, is Granit Gaming doesn't mind taking the patient game, and they are moving the puck around very nicely.
Limbe trying to break that up. He did so, and Iryu's going to take it out for his team, try to fire that one and force it in front. Azastine keeping it in. Iryu in front, chance there by Naiku. Couldn't get the shot off. Naiku once more. Tried to turn that one around to one of his teammates as everybody was kind of little kid soccer jumbled up in one spot, so that led out to Granit walking away with the puck for now, as that's onside somehow. Good lead pass to Limbe. Thought that was offside, but no call. Iryu, wrist shot, blocked there. He picks it up off of his own rebound. Fought for it in the corner, out with it, Furion. Furion just trying to get this out of his zone. He will. Lots of speed through the neutral zone. He's got it led up now. Antonio with a shot, and he scores!
Wow, what a snipe by Antonio. I think he was having shades of that one going off the post there, Nick, and going off the back of the goaltender, but he drops that one a little lower, and that one hits mesh. But what a snipe, as he was right on the top of the crease to get that one up, Nick.
Timeout being called here by Arctic, as it's 3-1 now, and this one's running away from them, but they've played pretty good this entire game so far.
Yeah, they definitely have. Nothing against them, as we see the score in the top right corner where VOD comes in and takes the game against the Goons 5-1. But you're exactly right, Nick. They haven't played a bad game, have they? But the time on attack is the only number that really stands out to me.
Time on attack just relentless right now, and Granite looking to continue to pour it on, as they don't want to let Arctic back into this game with 6:43 to go. Face off at neutral zone. Out comes with it Naiku. For his club in Arctic, they've got to get one quick here to try to get back into this game. Ekin sidestep, a little bit of a dance there. Fapa now, center point area. Now back from the slot area. Backhand chance there. Saved by Zayuki for now. Still in the zone. In down low, Ekin. Ekin over for Antonio. As VOD Gaming, like you said, takes that one 2-0. There's your final score over the Goons. Wrap around chance the other way. Supreek's able to keep that one at bay. Furion will kick that one up from the corner. And Antonio gets that one out of the zone. Ekin's got it now over the blue line. Under 3:30 left here in the third period. Regulation hockey, but no. Ekin takes a penalty here, and this could be a dangerous chance now for Arctic to get back in one.
Wow, well, maybe this is the momentum Arctic needs. We know that a power play they scored on was very successful to get them back in the last game. We'll see if this one happens.
Face off here to Supreek's right. Power play chance off the set play, and an amazing save by Supreek's coming across the entire length of the ice for the save.
Yeah, he read that, didn't he? What a monstrous save there by Supreeks. He's continuously showing why he is amazing here in this tournament.
Arctic on the power play here. They had a good chance there. But man, Supreek standing tall when he needs to, Tegan, and that's been the key to this series so far.
Yeah, it's Supreeks has been there when he needs to be. It has been a goaltender show out from him, and he continues to just make great save after great save when he needs to.
We saw it right there from Limbe to Iryu at the doorstep. Bang, bang, who's home? And I guess Supreek said instead of bang, bang, bing, bong, and he made the save. Man, Supreek's right now probably the MVP of this game if this scoreline holds.
Yeah, definitely. Supreeks has been absolutely phenomenal.
Good save there as play continues on. Still on the power play here. Trying to go that up, down low, up high. What do they call it? The high-low, I think the Texans call that there. So Limbe looking to bring that one back into the zone. Sidestepping a defender. He couldn't get past him. He's got it now at the half board. Azastine, center point, switching with the defense. Naiku down low. In front, Iryu chance there. Saved by Supreeks. Back to 5-on-5 hockey. Under a minute here. Full strength, real time, 60 seconds to conclude this regulation hockey period. In front, layout with a chance there from Supreeks and a save. Iryu trying to get this cleared as Granite. They finally do. Antonio able to bring it down the length of the ice, 3-on-1. Everybody back there for Arctic, and they throw it back in, and that's going to be icing. It will be 37 seconds left, but my goodness, Supreeks again.
I think we're a little premature on saying how great Supreeks is after he comes out and says, guys, I'm better than great. What saves by him to keep his team in the game?
I think he's listening to the broadcast. I guess we know here, twitch.tv/Capitals, as that one's banked along the boards. Out comes the goalie. Zayuki on the ice now, the extra attacker. Naiku Naiku trying to just force that one in front. Couple of pokes at it. Supreek's able to smother it up.
Yeah, and they're even going for the greasy goals. They're just throwing that puck in front and hoping it goes off something and goes in. And Supreek's hit. The way he's tracking the puck right now is just great stuff from him.
Extra attacker on the ice. Furion wins that one back to him off the face-off. Ekans got it. Is it out of the zone? It is. Empty net here. It's back in, though. No offside. That was odd. Picked up 11.6 seconds. Icing and a penalty is a trip here.
Yeah, I think because Arctic played that back into their own zone there. That's why you saw the no icing play. But
interesting.
The trip taken there, and he's going to go sit down, and I basically think that's the game here.
That's probably the game. It was a weird turnabout of play there that happened. The puck came in, then the trip, and then it was a weird sequence of events. But nevertheless, here, 11 seconds left. That's probably going to do it, as Furion's just going to bring this one in down low. We'll just throw it along the back of the boards there, off the backboard. Lemanin shot there. Another penalty, and I think this one's just getting a little bit chippy, I think some of the people would call it.
Yeah, it's turning into a good old-fashioned barn burner as the boys are getting a little fired up. We're hoping we're not going to see a good old-fashioned Donnybrook here, but we'll get our last couple seconds wrapped up here, Nick, and the game is going to go to Granit Gaming.
Granit Gaming takes this one at least 3-1. That will do it. So Granit Gaming coming, I guess you could say, from behind in some regards here. Wins game 1 4-1, wins game 2 3-1 after being down 1-0. Arctic looked great, and it just seems like every game they just ran out of a little bit. They didn't have enough gas to get over the finish line, and that's really what did them in here. As we look at the game-winning goal by, as you said, Fapa Tafla. I got excited that Ekin made that beautiful pass, but Fapa doing all the work there to get that wraparound goal home. And Tegan, I tell you, Granit Gaming could be a serious playoff contender. They're getting really hot at the right time right now in this contest, in this game, and in this tournament.
Well, especially when you have players like Supreek's making amazing saves and holding it down, and then you have guys like Ekin at the other end who not only can put the puck in the back of the net, but he's crucial on those assists to win you the game. So you saw it there on the wraparound. Just a great stuff from Granit Gaming, and all the way around for the whole team. Major,
Yeah.
what did... Sorry, go ahead, buddy.
I was just going to kind of reiterate on what you said. I mean, realistically, I think you look at this Granite team, and even Nick kind of mentioned it a little bit. I think that this Granite team, I think that we really saw in this series what they are capable of. And obviously, we know some of those main contenders that we were looking at coming in. Yeah. We know H-Reds and Philunda and Havu, IQ, Goons as well. We kind of know those 5 or 6 teams were the ones that were really known to be championship contenders. But I think that we saw a little bit of everything from Granit in this game. We saw that they have that star power with Ekin who can make plays for them in critical points. We saw that they, at least in my opinion, for my money, have one of the best goalies in this tournament in Supreeks, who can make a big save at any point. And you combine that with a team that has been able to fend off runs and keep themselves ahead of a game just enough to be able to get their own run to come about. That's a dangerous team that no one wants to play, in my opinion. Now they move up to 4-2. They're in the top 2 kind of tiers in terms of the standings, with the first tier being 5-1, the second now being 4-2. They will play one of those top end teams next week. So the tests continue for Granit, but I think that the last couple weeks here of the season, this is a big win for them. I don't think anyone wants to see this team here come playoff time. I think that if you were to pick a sleeper that could maybe get hot and become a Cinderella team to make it to that last 8 or last 4, Granit would be a solid pick the way they looked here today.
Brandon, I would say that they are that team. You've got Ekin up front, you've got Supreeks. If one of those guys doesn't play good, if the other one's playing good, it's going to be scary. Granit Gaming is playing playoff hockey night in and night out in this tournament all the way through.
Yeah, and I think that's something that makes the way that the Caps Gaming Showcase is set up so fun to watch, right? Because you may not be playing at the stakes of the playoffs, but you're kind of in a bit of a playoff mode, because it doesn't matter how many games you win. You can win 10 games and go 3-7 or 3-6. You have to win series. You have to be able to continually and consistently win games and beat teams in order to get yourself higher in the standings. So you're used to that mode of saying, okay, one win's not going to get the job done. We have to go out, do our job, take care of business in game 2 or maybe even a game 3. And Granit has shown the ability to do that. They've lost every game by a goal. They've played for Lunda and lost both games in overtime. This could be a team that easily could be 5-1 with H-Reds, Tunnel Vision, and Havu right now. So granted, I think they showed us a lot today. RCTIC, I think, as well showed that when they are on and when they are able to get things going, they are a team that also can beat some teams. Just unfortunately today, not unable to consistently continue that momentum. Granted, always able to find a response. It was just a little bit too much for RCTIC in this game, or in the series rather. But I think both of these teams showed that they'll be a force to be reckoned with in the playoffs, and for Granit, I think that today they have submitted themselves to be possibly even a championship contender here, Tegan.
Yeah, I would agree. And Nick, I gotta say that this team of Granit Gaming is a force to be reckoned with.
Absolutely a force as they move to 4-2, and I know they really wanted this win here in week 6. And like I've said from the beginning, we covered Granit just a couple of weeks ago, and we talked about how they can be a contender. They can be an impact team, and they just need the right steps, the right little pieces, and the right opportunities. That kind of also comes into it, especially in the Swiss format. You might face a team you're not ready for at the beginning. You know, some teams take a little bit longer to develop, and I think for RCTIC, they have a lot that they can take away from this series.
Agreed.
And I think specifically there, one of the main takeaways is just persistence. I think if you keep at the game that got you there and don't kind of get in your head maybe midway through the game or look for a change, just stay committed to what you were doing because it worked. They just couldn't get that final, tic-tac play. They couldn't get the final pass on. But man, they were just knocking for 30 minutes both games, and then they got the lead in game 2, and I thought that was really going to force a game 3, but they just ran out of gas, and it's kind of disheartening to see because they ran up against a team that's super hungry right now to really make an impact in the playoffs.
Well, that was it. It was, I think the way you put it was they ran out of gas, and that was exactly what it looked like. It looked like that the team in the team, I'm sorry,
Arctic.
I'm drawing a blank here, but RCTIC, thank you. As they did run out of gas, as the 30 minutes was just, it's like the tank was flooded out, and the other side came in Granit Gaming, and they were able to finish it off. I think if RCTIC plays a 60-minute game, Nick, like that 30 minutes, it's a definite win for them in the end.
As we see a Frölunda upset here, Conquer Gaming going over Frölunda 6-5. That's going to be something to keep our eye on as well. So a lot of things happening in the final couple of weeks in EU. We know with all the teams that we have so far in the EU, all the teams will make the playoffs in one way, shape, or form. But you really want to go after these seeds here. So we should see an interesting shakeout as we walk into playoffs. Not the case for the NA, though, as a ton of teams and a small number of spots really will dictate how everything shakes out. So we have an impressive matchup tonight for NA action, don't we, Tegan?
Oh, we do have a lights out action tonight, Nick, and I think we're going to see a brand new, pretty successful team, aren't we?
Yeah, Isles GT debuting last week. They'll be taking Scary Hours out to dance here, and those two will square off a battle of undefeated teams. And I get to talk to Hendry beforehand. I got to talk to him Friday, and we'll have that interview for you as well on the broadcast. So 9 p.m. Eastern time tonight, twitch.tv/Capitals. You can find more of the Week 6 action there, and make sure you're following Caps Gaming at Caps Gaming on Twitter. So we look forward to that action. But this one ends here. Granit Gaming sweeps in 2 games over RCTIC 2-0, wins the game 1 4-1, game 2 3-1, and that's going to do it for us for the afternoon broadcast here. So I want to thank everybody for watching all of our coverage through 6 weeks so far. We have a 7th week coming up next week, and of course coverage for the NA tonight. Make sure you're tuned in, twitch.tv/Capitals for the Caps Gaming Showcase, presented to you by Leidos and powered by Leaguegaming. So on behalf of the entire staff at MSC, at Caps Gaming, and at Leaguegaming, and thanks to our presenting sponsor in Leidos, my name is Nick DeMeo, and I'm for Tegan Blair and Brandon Bigsby. We wish you all the best. Stay safe, stay healthy, and we'll see you tonight. Goodbye for now. See you then.